All right, what's happening? So, happy new year. Hopefully, this new year is going to be a lot better than the last year. I was getting some messages from some of you guys to, you know, get the title holders for the end of the year. A lot of bets are on a lot of these gambling websites, or who's going to be the title holder in each division at the end of the year. So, I thought, hey, maybe I'll give you guys some champs that I think are going to be holding the belt at the end of the year. And some of these I think are a pretty good investment. I know it's good. It's a year away, and some of you guys don't like to wait. But hey, 1 year waiting for an investment is not too bad, especially if it's a guarantee. And if you guys seen that Conor McGregor dropping his news, he's fighting in June, 185. Just a joke. I don't know if he's trolling, but it just seems like a joke. If you're Michael Chandler, I wouldn't even wait for that. Even though it's going to be his biggest payday, why wait? So let's go straight into it here. I'm showing you guys the odds here as well. So interim title deemed loser. If you guys can see here, this is have to be the actual champ, not the interim champ. So let's start with the heavyweights. The biggest favorite to be the title holder at the end of the year is Tom Aspinall, plus 175. Pretty decent odds, actually. In my opinion, I do think Tom Aspinall is going to be your champ at the end of the year. Obviously, John Jones, in my opinion, is the best fighter in that division. However, he even said himself he's got one fight left in him. He's going to fight Stipe, and then he's out, right? So if he fights Stipe mid-year, whatever it is, he's done. So he's not going to be holding the belt at the end of the year. The best fighter in that division right now, I got to go with Tom Aspinall. And now they're trying to say plus 300. UFC 300. They might put him with Alex Pereira. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's a good idea for Alex Pereira because he doesn't really have a ground game. And Tom Aspinall is just huge. Bad matchup. He's fast too. So I don't know if he wants to take that. So I'll go with Tom Aspinall in there, plus 175. Decent odds, not bad. Let's see here. Light heavyweight. This is interesting. So Alex Pereira is plus 250 to hold it. I don't think he's going to be holding that belt for much longer. In my opinion, I would put my money on Magomed Ankalaev. I think he's the number one fighter in that division. Plus 400. I think he's going to give Alex Pereira a run for his money just because of the ground game. Alex Pereira does not have a good ground game, right? They've matched him up accordingly. Magomed Ankalaev has a great wrestling base, right? Those Dagestanis all can wrestle. So I'll take Magomed Ankalaev plus 400. Now that is a good bet, right? If you're looking at to make some money at the end of the year, Magomed Ankalaev to be the champ at light heavyweight, I don't know who beats him at light heavyweight. To be honest, that's very interesting. I think plus 400, that's really good odds. So I'll definitely be taking that. Middleweight title holder. Now this is interesting. Um, DDP plus 600. Sean Strickland, the current champion, plus 600. They have a. I'm pretty sure they even have him as a huge underdog going into the Dricus Duplessis fight in a couple weeks, which is pretty surprising that they would have Sean Strickland at such a huge underdog, considering the fact what he did to Israel Adesanya. But I don't know if the odds makers, everyone is really underestimating Sean Strickland's skills, right? And Sean Strickland has been a black belt in jiu-jitsu for a long time. His ground game is pretty good. Striking is very good. And most importantly, his confidence sky high. His striking is so good. And the guy spars like every day, man. He's super confident. Do I think he's going to be holding the belt, though, at the end of the year? I do not. I'm going to go with Hamzat Chimaev. He's actually the biggest favorite to hold the title at the end of the year. That's the person that the UFC wants to hold the belt at the end of the year. And I think if Strickland wins against Duplessis, I think you're going to see Strickland and Hamzat Chimaev plus UFC 300 for sure. That's a no-brainer. So I'll go with Hamzat Chimaev on that one. Plus 350. That's pretty decent odds. Let's see. Welterweight, one of my favorite divisions here. So Shavkat Rakhmonov, plus 225. He's your favorite to hold the belt at the end of the year. To be honest, I think the guy who's going to be holding the belt at the end of the year at welterweight might be a lightweight. I think he's not even on the list, I believe. Yeah, he's not even on the list. Islam Makhachev said it himself. He's having a hard time cutting the weight to 155. He's a big lightweight. And if anyone's going to give Shavkat Rakhmonov a very difficult time, it's going to be Islam Makhachev. That guy is incredibly good. And I think he might actually beat Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think Shavkat Rakhmonov is going to have a hard time using his grappling against Islam. I think Islam's the better grappler out of the two. Now, striking, they might be pretty even. Maybe Shavkat might be the harder hitter um, out of each other, but Islam can strike, man. Islam, if you guys seen that Volkanovski fight, he's got a very dynamic striking game. He can punch, he can kick, and his grappling is outstanding. So the fact that he's not even on the list is pretty weird because I think he'll be holding the title at welterweight by the end of the year. I think Leon Edwards, he fights. If Leon Edwards is smart, he's got to take the Bilal fight. He even said himself that Bilal, doesn't deserve it or whatever. But if you're Leon, would you rather fight Bilal Muhammad or Shavkat Rakhmonov? You'd rather take the Bilal fight for sure. Now Bilal wins the title. That's the only person I don't see Islam going up to facing, right? Because they're good friends. They train together now. I don't know, but I'll take Islam Makhachev, who's not even on there, and I don't even know his odds to hold the title there. Lightweight title holder. Islam Makhachev minus 150. Interesting, because he said it himself. He's only got a few more fights left at lightweight before he moves up. Um, Benoit Saint Denis plus 2200. I'm going to go with Arman Sarukian to be the lightweight title holder at the end of the year. I think Arman beats everyone in that division, except maybe, I think obviously Islam is his hardest fight. But if you guys watch the fight with Islam, that was his first fight in the UFC against Islam Makhachev, and it was a very, very competitive fight. Now I know he lost to Gamrot. Some people thought he won, some people thought he lost. It was a very close fight. I believe it was a split decision. Um, don't count me on that, but I gotta go with Arman Sarukian plus 700 to be your champ at the end of the year at lightweight. I like Arman Sarukian, and I think he can be the title holder at the end of the year. I think if they're they got to do the lightweight title for UFC 300, right? It's a no-brainer that they're going to do 3 title fights. Hopefully none of those are the female title fights. I mean, you know, yeah, I just don't want to see that, like Valentina and like Grasso or something like that, or Wei Lee. I want to see, the males go at it, the highest level of athlete. And I think Arman Sarukian's your guy, man. I think don't count him out. He's the real deal right now. Have you guys seen that Benil fight? That boy's for real. And next is the featherweights. Let's see here. So Alex Volkanovski plus 150 seems about right. Ilya Taporia plus 275. Okay. This one's interesting. Um so if you guys see the odds for Ilya Taporia and Volkanovski was a huge favorite to beat Taporia, right? Until he got knocked out. He got viciously knocked out by Makachev, and then all of a sudden, everyone's like, "Oh, Taporia can win. Taporia is gonna knock out Volkanovski." Just because Volkanovski got knocked out on 6 days' notice, took that fight on 6-day notice against, the best guy at lightweight, the division ahead, above. And a lot of people are counting out Volkanovski. Do not count out Alex the Great Volkanovski. He's the real deal. I don't think he'll be taking any short notice fights anymore. I think he learned from that. I, I do see him probably being the end of the year title holder, but my dark horse and the best odds for that is Movsar Ibloev plus 2,000. Dude, 20 to 1 odds. Movsar Ibloev, if he wins his next fight, I believe it's against Arnold Allen, which I believe he will dominate. Um, they're going to shoot him to a title shot, and I think he should get the winner of Topuria and Volkanovski. That's a no-brainer. He's undefeated Russian, and I think that's going to be Topuria and Volkanovski's toughest fight in obviously the featherweight division. I think Movsar Evloev is the real deal. The fact that he's plus 2,000 to be the champ at the end of the year, I think that's very doable for him. So I'll go with Movsar Evloev. Obviously, the favorite. I think Movsar Evloev is a good value bet. Let me say that. Most likely, it's probably going to be Volkanovski, but for the value, the fact that he's plus 2,000, you cannot go wrong putting some money on your boy Evloev. All right, let's see bantamweight. Let's see here. So Sean O'Malley plus 250. That's very surprising to me that he's a favorite to be the title holder at the end of the year. I don't even think he gets past Marlon Vera. I think Marlon Vera beats him. I think it's a bad matchup for Sean O'Malley. I think that incredible chin of Marlon Chito Vera. He's one of the best chins in the game. That guy does not get knocked out, right? And Sean O'Malley's not going to really take you down and submit you. That's not his style. He doesn't have a wrestling background. And his jiu-jitsu's, Marlon's probably got the better jiu-jitsu out of the two. So I think Marlon actually beats Sean O'Malley. If Sean O'Malley does win, it's probably going to be a decision victory for Sean O'Malley. He just outpoints him for 5 rounds. But the fact that they have him being, the title holder for the end of the year, the favorite, I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think the two best guys in that division is Merab Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov. So Umar Nurmagomedov, unfortunately, hasn't really fought the top guys, right? Because one, he had that injury, and number two, a lot of people do not want to fight Umar Nurmagomedov. So plus 1,400, I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get the title shot, right? He's only maybe got 2-3 fights in 2024. Are they going to give him a title shot maybe at the end of the year? That's tough to say, but the guy who deserves the title shot has got to be Merab Dvalishvili, man. So I'm going to go with Merab Dvalishvili plus 333. That's a pretty decent bet. The last one I'm going to touch on here is the flyweights. So Pantoja's the favorite, plus 275. Interesting, because I don't think he's the best guy in that division, even though he is the champion of that division. I think the number one guy in that division is a guy I've been telling you guys about before he even got to the UFC, and that is Muhammad Mokaev, plus 800. I'm telling you, if he wins one or two more fights, they have to give this guy the title shot. Undefeated Russian, born in Dagestan. I think now he lives in England, fights out of there, but this guy's I've been talking about this guy forever, right? You guys been watching my channel for a while. I've been telling you guys about Muhammad Mokaev way before he even entered the UFC, how good this guy is. He is insane. I think if he were to fight Alexander Pantoja next weekend, I would put all my money on Muhammad Mokaev, and I would fucking post that bet tomorrow, because that's how confident I am in Muhammad Mokaev's skills. I think he's gonna crush Alex Pantoja. I think he crushes Brandon Moreno. Now, is it going to be a competitive fight? Sure. I'm not saying it's going to be a first round finish. It's going to be competitive, but I think he's the better fighter out of all those guys. I think he's the number one fighter in that division. I think, Amir Albazi, he's an undefeated guy too. I think it's interesting to see him and Moreno go at it, because that's going to be his toughest opponent. But man, Muhammad Makayev plus 800. I think he might be your title holder at the end of the year. And the fact that they're giving you 8-1 odds, that's a pretty good bet. So if you guys want some money to make, I know it's a year away, but hey, sit tight, invest, and at the end of the year, you might have some big money in your bank accounts because there's those are some solid bets, man. Muhammad Makayev, especially Magomed Ankalaev, that guy's one fight away from a title shot, man. If he's gonna beat Johnny Walker, he fights Johnny. I'm gonna post that card in about a week because the fight's in 2 weeks. So Johnny Walker is going to get absolutely destroyed by Magomed Ankalaev. Hopefully, they do the Johnny Walker Khalil Roundtree rematch. I would love to see the rematch because that first fight, Johnny Walker just destroyed Khalil Roundtree. If they have a rematch, I'm not too sure if that goes the same way it did in the first fight because Khalil has really improved, or at least it shows that he improved, but we don't know because he hasn't fought the same opponents, right? And if he goes in there and destroys Johnny Walker, then he has really improved. So that's a fight I really would like to see. But Magomed Ankalaev is definitely going to be the champion at the end of the year in that division. So take it how you want it, and good luck. Let's make that money out.